right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about the Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin. I want to go through their performance last week. The week ended July 7th, 2023. It's now Monday morning, so right now, I think we are in a breakout mode. I'm going to show you these numbers. I think they're staggering. These are some of the best numbers the Bitcoin miners have ever had relative to Bitcoin, in my opinion, really probably in years. So is it going to continue? Let's see what happened. Let's go to the chart. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that week over week, Bitcoin was basically flat. It was down about $100. So as a percent move, that rounds to zero. So every single Bitcoin miner is green with the exception of BitDigital, which was up 0%. So some of these Bitcoin miners went through the roof this week. So let's start at the top. So here we have Greenwich up 83% in 1 week. This is 1 week. When we get to the year to date, you're going to see just how shocking this is compared to what's happened over the rest of the year for this company. So they led the way. Stronghold up 68%. They continue to add market cap. They've had a very strong run over the last several weeks or month. TeraWulf up 51%, gigantic move. Iris Energy up 43%, gigantic move. Remember, this is 1 week. You're seeing these Bitcoin miners, a lot of them have breakout weeks in a week where Bitcoin really didn't do anything. So the question is this a leading indicator? Are people starting to make their bets on the leveraged play here in the Bitcoin miners because they think the next move for Bitcoin is to the upside? I will tell you, I think so. So if you watch the channel, you'll know I am bullish. That doesn't mean I think Bitcoin's going straight to the moon from here. We will have our pullbacks as always. This is a very high volatility, painful industry to be investing in. But for those who stick with it and play it right, this can be extremely beneficial. Having said that, also, we just went through about a year or a year and a half of big pain with the Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin went into a crypto winter. The Bitcoin miners were down drastically. This year, those who stuck with it have been reaping the rewards. And you're going to see this week in specific, these are giant numbers. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. Iris Energy is up 43% this week. CleanSpark up 40% this week. So I've been looking for that one to start its breakout. I think that is beginning. RIOT up 31% this week. They jumped back into the lead for largest market cap of all the Bitcoin miners. This was a green week. I'm just going to spend one more second and let you guys look at this chart because you can find your Bitcoin miner if you're investing in these miners. So an excellent week across the board. For some of my new positions, this was a really good week, like Stronghold. That's a position I've been adding in 2023. So that was up 68% this week. And for some of my old positions like CleanSpark, which I've been holding on to for years now, that was up 40% this week. So a good week all the way around. If you have been hanging in there and dollar cost averaging in, congratulations. I know a lot of our subscribers are doing that, and I know a lot of our members have been really sticking with this. For those of you who don't know, we do have a membership. It's got to be one of the cheapest memberships on all of YouTube. It's $5 a month. You can join by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. It's right next to the subscribe button. And we do have a members only once a week live stream. We talk about a lot of things in greater detail on that live stream. In addition to that, we pick a stock each week for me to do a deep dive on, and it does help the channel out a lot. It's been a pretty tough year on YouTube, so that's just an aside. Thank you very much to all the existing members. Much appreciated, and welcome to any new members. Okay, with that said, let's go on to the next chart. So this was week over week. Let's talk year to date. So now these numbers start to get staggering. I would put out to you, this is probably the best performing industry in all of the entire stock market so far in the year 2023. Core Scientific is still in chapter 11, so they look like they're coming out soon. The stock has skyrocketed. It's up over 1,000% year to date, so that is absolutely spectacular performance. I've missed that whole run, so for those of you who watch the channel, you know I'm not in Core Scientific. I'm not sure. You know, stocks in chapter 11 to me are always a little bit of a gamble, but there was an awful lot. You know, if you've held on to this stock, if you dollar cost averaged into this stock, this was trading down at 4 cents at one point. So, you know, a lot of people said it was worth a risk, and for those people, it has paid off. It's up over 1,000% so far this year. Okay, next, BitDigital. This is another surprise for me. So BitDigital's up 575% year to date. That is a spectacular return. Cypher's up 566% year to date. Remember, we're only halfway through the year. So this is their performance just so far this year. So 566% for Cypher. DigiHost up 453%. Iris Energy up 434%. So I just always like to reiterate in these videos, and a lot of times I will talk about 3X's and 5X's and potential 10X's. And, a lot of people think that that's clickbait or crazy talk, but here you're seeing Core Scientific has already 10x this year, and the year is only half over. And companies like BitDigital and Cypher have 6x on their way to a 7x right now. So these things do happen, and I think there's a lot of room left to run. So again, not financial advice. I can't tell you guys what to buy and sell, but what I can do is try and compile the information and show it to everybody and share it so that together maybe, some of us can benefit from this. There are some companies that have already had their run, like the ones we just talked about. There are some companies at the bottom of this list that I think are still yet to have their run. So, not every single one of these stocks is going to be a winner, so please do your due diligence, and, you gotta try to pick the winners as always. But right now, as an industry, this has just been spectacular. Marathon's up 358% year to date, and Riot's up 357% year to date. That is virtually identical performance. That is monumental move to the upside for the two stocks that are by far the largest market cap. So those are considered the safest stocks, and they've still tripled or quadrupled. CleanSpark's up 194%. It did have a fantastic week this week, up 40%. So 194% is outstanding return on investment for a 6-month period of time. But I do believe this is one of my high conviction plays, so not financial advice, but those of you who watch the channel, you'll know I'm looking for much more ahead on this. So even up 194%, this is the ones that, in my opinion, has a lot of room left to run, and it's not alone. Okay, so DMG blockchain's up 99%, and then you have Bitcoin itself. So Bitcoin's up 83% year to date. It's almost exactly doubled off of its lows from late November of 2022, so that was about 7 months ago. So you can see these are starting to behave the way they're supposed to. In my mind, the Bitcoin miners are about a 3x leverage on Bitcoin, and that doesn't mean day by day and week by week, but over the course of time, to me, these should be a 3x leverage. You're taking that type of risk by owning these, so you should get rewarded when things are going well. And now you're starting to see these are playing out as 3x, 4x, 5x leverages on Bitcoin itself so far in 2023. So we felt the pain with leveraging on the way to the downside with the Bitcoin miners, and now this is always the risk. We're into the reward a little bit right now. We'll see what comes next. Two of these stocks on here you're going to see I left in red. Those two stocks are Greenidge, which you're going to see is up 79% year to date, and Stronghold, which is up 47% year to date. The reason that those are in red is they were down on the year just last week. This is what can happen. These moves happen fast, and Stronghold is another one where I think that one, in my opinion, has only just begun. So please, not financial advice. Please be careful. I'm not telling you to buy Stronghold. You've got to do your own due diligence and see if you think there's reward left, because obviously this just had a huge week. Okay, I'll try to go through this chart quickly, but this is an interesting chart. In February of 2023, Bitcoin made a run up to $25,000. That was the first time Bitcoin had hit $25,000 since August of 2022. So every single Bitcoin miner hit a local high at that time. So I like to compare that high back in February to where the Bitcoin miners are right now. Now in February, Bitcoin got up to 25.2 thousand. Bitcoin's at 30.2 thousand right now. So it's up $5,000. I'm going to go back in time just 6 weeks, because the last 6 weeks, I think, is where the Bitcoin miners have started their breakout. If you look 6 weeks ago, Bitcoin was at just about the same exact price it's at right now, and the vast majority of these miners were in the red compared to their February highs. So they were almost all lagging Bitcoin, which was up 6% at that point. Almost all of these Bitcoin miners are now outperforming Bitcoin since that high in February. There are a few laggers. Greenidge, even though it was up 83% this week, so remember, that was the one that skyrocketed this week, it's still 51% lower than where it was in February. So there's one on a swing trade situation where some people might decide, hey, look, they're up 83% this week. That's just the beginning. They're still down 51% from where they were just 4 months ago. I am not participating in that. I'm not recommending you participate in that. I'm just showing you certain things that you can look for in these charts as potential buy and holds or potential swing trades. Okay, so let's get to the last chart. The last chart is market cap. I wanted to compare all these companies' market cap. If we look at this, you're going to see a number on the top that represents their this week's rank, and a number on the bottom in parentheses that represents last week's rank. So Riot moved from number 2 to number 1. Riot and Marathon flip-flopped. Marathon had just a couple of weeks ago taken over the largest market cap position, and Riot has now recaptured this. But you can see the big takeaway, these two are just much, much bigger from a market cap standpoint than all the other Bitcoin mining companies. That has always been true. It remains true. Some of these are starting to close the gap. BitDeer is new to this game, so you'll see I have them in a different color. They're new to the chart. They just went public a few months ago, so they're a $1.4 billion market cap. That puts them in third place. Cypher then is just under $1 billion. They did hit $1 billion in trading on Friday, but they did not close there. They closed at $929 million market cap, so that puts them in fourth place. HUT at $841 million in fifth place. CleanSpark at $676 million is in sixth place. So to me, CleanSpark is one that I talk about all the time. They are second or third in Bitcoin mining each month as far as their production, but they're in sixth place for a market cap standpoint. So there may be some reasons for that, but I do think there's a lot of room left from a market cap standpoint for CleanSpark to continue to grow and catch up to some of its competitors, particularly forgetting the fact that it's in sixth place. It's still about 1/4 the market cap of Riot and Marathon. So those to me are its peers. Those are its direct competition. And I probably would argue that those two deserve a little bit higher market cap, but not, 3 or 4 times the market cap that CleanSpark. So, that's how I feel about it. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about that. I do think a lot of these companies in the $300 and $400 million range, some of these I think still have a massive amount of room to run. When you see there are some companies in this space approaching $3 billion. Hopefully these charts help you guys. So that's what happened last week. It was a pretty spectacular week. Stay tuned for my videos this week and we'll take a look at what's going on this week. So best of luck to everybody. Congratulations for those of you who made money on these trades. And remember, if you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.